Her laughter was like music to my ears, a sweet melody that I thought was the soundtrack to our perfect life. But looking back now, I realize that some songs have hidden, discordant notes. Our story began like a fairy tale. I met Clara in college. She was the sun, and everyone, including me, was just a planet orbiting her warmth and light. Her laughter could fill a room, chasing away any shadows. We fell in love, fast and hard. Marriage felt like the natural next step, a promise to keep that music playing forever. For 10 years, it did. We built a life together, brick by brick, a cozy house in the suburbs, 2 beautiful children. A golden retriever named Buddy. From the outside, we were the picture of happiness. I worked hard as an architect, designing dream homes for others, proud that I had built my own. Clara was a fantastic mother, and I thought, a devoted wife. She had this incredible ability to make ordinary days feel special. A surprise picnic in the living room on a rainy day, or a handwritten note tucked into my briefcase that would make me smile all afternoon. I felt like the luckiest man alive. I trusted her completely, without a single doubt. That trust was the foundation of our home, stronger than any concrete I could ever pour. The first crack in that foundation appeared subtly. It wasn't a loud shatter, but a faint, almost inaudible splintering. It started with her phone. It used to lie on the kitchen counter, open for anyone to see. But then, it was always with her, screen down or clutched in her hand. When I'd walk into the room, she'd quickly end a call or close an app. Just a friend from my yoga class, she'd say, her smile a little too bright. We were just planning a brunch. I didn't think much of it at first. Why would I? This was Clara, my Clara. She was entitled to her privacy and her friends. I chided myself for even noticing, for letting a sliver of suspicion creep in. But the small things started to add up, like puzzle pieces I didn't want to put together. There were more yoga brunches and book club meetings that ran late into the evening. She started paying more attention to her appearance, buying new clothes and perfumes. "Just want to feel good about myself," she'd explain, twirling in a new dress. I'd compliment her, genuinely happy that she was happy. I wanted to support her, but a quiet, gnawing feeling began to grow in my gut, a cold dread that I tried to push away. Was she trying to feel good for me, or for someone else? The thought felt like a betrayal in itself, and I'd immediately feel guilty. The laughter I once cherished began to sound different. It was still bright, still loud, but now there was an echo I hadn't heard before. It was the echo of secrets, of a life being lived in the shadows when I wasn't looking. When she'd laugh at a text on her phone, a private joke I wasn't part of, it felt like a sting. I was standing on the outside of her joy, a place I had never been before. I tried to talk to her, to bridge the growing distance. "Is everything okay, honey? You seem a little distant lately." She'd just wave it off with a laugh. "Don't be silly. I'm just busy. You're imagining things." She'd kiss me on the cheek, and for a moment, the warmth would almost make me believe her. Almost, but her eyes wouldn't quite meet mine. The breaking point came on a Tuesday, and painfully ordinary day. I had to come home early from work to pick up some blueprints I'd forgotten. As I pulled into the driveway, I saw an unfamiliar car parked in our spot, a sleek, expensive sports car that didn't belong in our quiet neighborhood. A knot of ice formed in my stomach. I walked to the door, my hand shaking as I reached for the knob. The house was quiet, too quiet. I called her name, "Clara, I'm home." No answer. I walked through the living room and toward our bedroom, and that's when I heard it. Her laughter, but this time it was different. It was soft, intimate, intertwined with a low murmur of a man's voice. My heart didn't just break. It felt like it dissolved into a million pieces of shattered glass. I pushed the bedroom door open. The scene that greeted me is burned into my memory forever. Clara, my wife, the mother of my children, was in the arms of another man. They froze, their laughter dying on their lips. The silence that followed was deafening, heavier than any words could ever be. I looked at her, searching for the woman I had loved for a decade, but all I saw was a stranger. The man, a well-dressed, smug-looking individual, had the audacity to look annoyed at my interruption. In that moment, a strange calm washed over me. There was no shouting, no screaming. The pain was too deep for that. I simply turned around and walked out. I walked out of the bedroom, out of the house, and out of the life we had built. I got in my car and just drove, with no destination in mind. The world outside my windshield was a blur of colors and lights. The The sweet sound of her laughter replayed in my head, but now it was a torment. Every happy memory we shared was now tainted, a lie wrapped in a beautiful package. The picnics, the notes, the inside jokes they all just a performance. Was I just the clueless audience in her one-woman show? The days that followed were a fog of lawyers, paperwork, and difficult conversations. Telling the children was the hardest thing I've ever had to do. How do you explain to them that the home they knew was gone, that mommy and daddy wouldn't be living together anymore? Their innocent, confused faces were a constant reminder of what had been lost, not just a marriage, but a family. Clara tried to explain, to apologize. She said it was a mistake, that she was lost, that she didn't know what she wanted anymore. Her words were just noise. The trust, the foundation of everything, was gone. And without trust, her words were hollow. The man, I later learned, was a wealthy client from her new yoga class. It was a classic sordid cliché. She was dazzled by the money, the excitement, the escape from our ordinary life. The life I thought was our dream was, to her, a cage she wanted to escape. That realization was a bitter pill to swallow. I had given her everything I had, my love, my loyalty, my future, and it wasn't enough. The healing process was slow and agonizing. Some days, the anger was a roaring fire. Other days, the sadness was a suffocating wave that threatened to pull me under. I had to relearn how to live, how to be a single father, how to find joy in a world that had lost its color. My friends and family were my lifeline. They sat with me in the silence, listened to my rants, and reminded me that I was more than just a broken man. I started focusing on myself and my children. We took road trips, built forts in the living room, and started creating new memories, our own memories built on a new, more honest foundation. I had to learn to forgive, not for her, but for me. Holding on to the anger was like drinking poison and expecting the other person to be harmed. It was eating me alive. Forgiveness didn't mean forgetting, and it certainly didn't mean reconciliation. It meant letting go of the power the betrayal had over me. It meant choosing to move forward, to not let her actions define my future. Today, life is different. It's not the fairy tale I once imagined, but it's real. My children are thriving, and our bond is stronger than ever. I've found a quiet contentment in our new normal. I'm designing homes again, but now I understand that a home is more than just walls and a roof. It's built on honesty, respect, and a love that doesn't hide in the shadows. Sometimes, late at night, I can still hear the echo of her laughter, but it no longer has the power to wound me. It's just a sound from a distant past, a reminder of a lesson learned the hard way. The sweetest melodies can sometimes hide the most painful truths, and true strength isn't about never falling. It's about getting back up, piecing yourself together, and learning to create your own music again, even if you have to write a whole new song. It's a quieter song, perhaps, but it's mine, and it's true. Thank you for listening to my story. If you've been through something similar, know that you are not alone and that healing is possible. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more stories. Stay strong.